Okay, this is Phillips Exeter Academy Math 1, page 64, number 7. A little review for our quadratics test in CP Math 2. The question here is, it says Golf Math 1. Using a driver on the 7th tee, Dale hits an excellent shot right down the middle of the level fairway. The ball follows the parabolic path shown in the figure, and it's described by this quadratic function y equals 0.5x minus 0.002x squared. This relates the height y of the ball above the ground to the ball's progress x down the fairway. Distances are in yards. So in A, use the distributive property to write this equation in factored form. Now this really isn't very nice because we don't have whole number values. And usually we're used to the idea that when we factor, we're factoring out integer values. But here we don't have integers. But we can still do the same idea here. So the thing is when we're factoring, we're just trying to figure out what number will divide into both of these, or divide out of both of these. Okay, so what we're really going to do is we're going to pick the smaller one of these two numbers, and 0.002 is smaller than 0.5. And we're going to divide that out in front along with the x. So we've done a problem similar to this where we take it out, and we're just going to factor out that 0.002. Okay, so I would get 0.002x. Now when we factor that out, we have to actually use the calculator divide, or you probably will. But if you do 0.5 divided by 0.002, you end up with 250. So I'm doing 0.5, so I'm dividing this 0.002 out of the 0.5, and you end up with 250. Okay, and the x we factored out, so there's nothing else here, minus, we already factored out the 0.002, there's x squared, so there would be an x left over. So it'll just be 250 minus x. Okay, and it says, what's the significance of this data? Well, if we look back at our parabola right here, these two factors give us our x-intercepts here and here. And we just did a problem like that before, but we get 0.002x equals 0. That'll give us an x-intercept. And 250 minus x equals 0 gives us another intercept. So when I divide this by 0.002, I get x equals 0, which means the 0.00 is an x-intercept, and we can kind of see that right here. The second equation, we can add the x to both sides. You get 250 equals x. So 250 comma 0 is our second x-intercept right there. So I'll write that down, 250 comma 0. Right there. Okay? So when it says what is the significance, we have that those are the two x-intercepts. When it says how far from the tee does the ball hit the ground, we already have that. Hits the ground right there, which is 250 yards. 250 yards. Now on C, it says, at what distance x down the fairway does the ball reach the highest point of the arc? Let's think about this. Here's the highest point up here. How far down the fairway is that? Hopefully you're thinking it's halfway. It's right down the middle, halfway. So half of 250 is 125. So 125 feet down the fairway is where the highest point is. The last question is a little bit more difficult. It also says, what is the maximal height attained by the ball? Well, we can't just do that by the picture. We can see that it's right up here. So since 125 is our x, all we would have to do is take the 125, substitute it into the x's here, or here. Either way works. And we will have the maximal height of the ball. So I'm going to go ahead and push C up here. And I'm just going to use this equation right here. So I just go 0.002 times 125 times 250 minus 125. Make sure when you do this, you subtract to these parentheses right here first. And I just did it all at once in the calculator, and I got 31.25 yards. So again, I just took and I substituted the 125 that was halfway into this equation right here. And you could have put it into this equation or that equation. They're all the same thing. And then that means that point right here would be 125, 31.25.